וקיים וקיים מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים וקיים Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, וקיים מודה אני לפניך מודה אני לפניך רוח חי וקיים וקיים Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam, moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam, moda ani lefanecha, moda ani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Modani lefanecha, modani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam, modani lefanecha, modani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Modani lefanecha, modani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam, modani lefanecha, modani lefanecha, ruach chai, vekayam, vekayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of
Chodesh Tov, everyone, and welcome to OneShul. I'm Kohenet Ketzira, and I'm so pleased to welcome you here to OneShul for our Rosh Chodesh Av service. I've posted the link to tonight's Siddur in our chat room. Oop, that says nights, but 2 nights. There we go. And if you're following along and you're not in the chat room, it's just bit.ly, bit.ly/av 5777. That's AV 5777. So I'm starting tonight feeling very calm and centered. I've not too long ago begun a restorative yoga practice, and my restorative yoga session is Sunday nights at 5 p.m. So by the time I'm getting to Rosh Chodesh at 8 p.m., still sort of riding that nice wave of just calm and center and really nice, slow, natural pace for me. The rest of my life doesn't always feel like it runs on that slow pace that I actually feel like is my really comfortable, natural place of being. So adding restorative yoga to my life has been kind of amazing in just giving me that opportunity to just drop into what feels like such a perfectly aligned just pace of being with my life. Sorry, joke in the chat room. As always, we come together this month to flow through a service that will follow a familiar pattern if you've been here with us before. And then at the end, branch into a special space just for the month of Av. So each month our service begins with the creating of sacred space, and then it moves into expressions of gratitude, and then prayers for strength in the month to come, the month that is opening. We then spend a few minutes talking about the month that is opening, Av in this case, and the cycle of 3 months with Av in the center. And then we close our service, our time together, with opening ourselves up to blessings with a chant specially selected for the month to try to harness the energy and the unique ebb and flow of each Jewish month. As always, I also welcome and invite and encourage you to share your thoughts, your reflections, or just chat in the pews, as it were, in the chat room. It's a much more satisfying experience, I think, for everyone when we are actually engaging with each other in real time, for those of us who are here in real time. And if you are watching this later, really invite you to share your reflections on the Facebook page, the event page, or on wherever you happen to be watching the replay of this, the archive. Yeah, Aaron, refuah shlema, right? Is it complete and total healing for a practice that is so right aligning for me. I had a very brief period of time in my life, very, very brief, where I was basically on a sabbatical for a few months. And it's the first time, I think, ever that I learned what my natural pace is. And of course, that was incredibly healing and wonderful. But of course, then being back in the rush of everyday life and knowing what that feels like. Trying to find ways to stay in that as much as I can, even if the world around me doesn't seem to like that pace very much and wants it all to be much, much, much faster. I'll conclude this bit of thought with just a teaching from my teacher, Te'ama, who uses often the phrase right pace as prayer. And it's something that the first time she said it, I didn't quite get it. Because I'd never really understood that I wasn't functioning at my right pace until I experienced it once. And yeah, it's pretty fabulous. I encourage you to find that right pace and practices that help you realign to it as much as you can. And with that, our practice of singing ourselves into the space together. So what name do you wish to be sung? I invite you to close your eyes for just a moment, even though I asked you a question in the chat room. Just take 2 or 3 breaths in and out at whatever pace is comfortable and right for you. Envision yourself on a small garden pathway. House is on your left. It's a small garden in front of you and just to your right with trees. The pathway is brick-lined. You're standing in a line with the other people who are in our service tonight, as well as others who will be joining in before and after, those who are here with us in spirit, and those who may be joining in different times, since we are often an asynchronous community. Maybe your ancestors of blood or of spirit are joining us tonight as well, and other unseen beings. So this path is actually very full of so many bright souls standing in this beautiful little garden. And again, in front of you there is just a very simple little garden arbor, a gateway. I'm on the other side in a circle space. In the center there's a small fire going. Along the pathway there are stations with different ways to anoint and cleanse yourself as you enter the space. Whatever your vision of the perfect way to anoint or cleanse yourself is there. Maybe it's incense or sage. There's also a bowl, a copper bowl filled with scented water. There's also a bowl of perfectly pure rainwater, and many other options along the way. Take a moment in your mind's eye to find the right way to cleanse yourself, to anoint yourself. Envision or imagine the scent, the feel, the look. And as you take a moment to envision or imagine or see and feel in your mind's eye these actions of cleansing and ritual preparation, take 3 deep breaths in and out at your own pace. And when you open your eyes, share the name that you wish to be sung in as in the chat room. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. When I call on the light of my soul, I come home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Daniel, holy name. You have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Arava, holy name. You have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Aaron, holy name. You have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Lois, holy name. You have called on the light of your soul. Welcome home. Baruch Hu, dear one, Shekhinah, holy name. We have called on the light of our souls. We've come home. Chodesh Tov, Lois. Perfect timing in joining us. I was just typing what name do you wish to be sung into for you, and you answered and just dropped right in. Beautiful entrance. Thank you. Each month, we center ourselves around a practice of gratitude. We orient ourselves in this place of being fully resourced through gratitude. Because it is so easy in our culture to focus first and foremost on everything that we perceive as being lacking. And there are many, many things that we are right to be angry about. There are many things we are right to feel the need to demand action around. There are many things in our lives that are truly painful or difficult or challenging. But spirituality, Judaism, teaches us, and science teaches us, that by orienting ourselves from a place of gratitude, we are actually fundamentally more satisfied and happier. It seems so simple, and yet it's so difficult sometimes. It's so much easier to constantly let the little things and the big things chip away at us, that we forget all the good. And when the good becomes default, it no longer feels necessarily good. It just feels like what is. So we use these practices of orienting ourselves and grounding and centering ourselves in gratitude, active practices around it like this one, to remind ourselves, to remind our minds and our souls that if we are here tonight, so much is right in our lives. And we use this practice to fill ourselves up so we are more resilient, so we are fully or more fully resourced to really tackle the challenges in our lives personally, communally, and globally. What are you grateful for in the month that has just come to a close? The month of Tammuz that is just ending. What has gone right enough in your life, or what amazingly right things are happening for you that you are grateful for? And if you're in a rough patch, this is not an easy moment, and I don't pretend that it is when you're in a rough patch, and when we are communally in a rough patch, and collectively in a rough patch, and globally in a rough patch. It's not always easy, but it's so, so important. So what are you grateful for tonight? Before I begin the chant, I want to name just one of my gratitudes, which is witnessing the smicha, the ordination, the elevation of the 5th cohort of Kohanot, cohort Hey. and knowing that the 6th, 7th, and 8th cohorts are already, yes, wow, 6th, 7th, and 8th cohorts are already in progress. And I know of women who are already applying and excited for the 9th and 10th cohorts. That is a big gratitude for me personally right now that I've just come out of in this past month. So, what are you grateful for? Share those things, big and small, even if it is just you had a delicious breakfast this morning. That is something to be grateful for tonight. Moda ani lefanayich, Moda ani lefanayich, Ruach Chai v'kayemet, Moda ani lefanecha, Moda ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful in the face of the one, in the face of the one. Back to the Hebrew. Moda ani lefanayich, Moda ani lefanayich, Ruach Chaya v'kayemet, Moda ani lefanecha, Moda ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, I am grateful. Oh, I am grateful for Arava's cousin's first month in Navy boot camp going well, because that's a really great thing. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful for Lois teaching a private weaving class last month and her really amazing weaving skills, and the soul life that sustains us. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful for clarity coming to us, and Aaron beginning a meditation practice for OneShul. Yes, we are super grateful about that and everything else that's been mentioned. Moda ani lefanayich, Moda ani lefanayich, Ruach Chaya v'kayemet, Moda ani lefanecha, Moda ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful for Talia, Offering to retype all the Hebrew in my sidors for OneShul so they're not just photographs, 'cause I'm too lazy to type all my Hebrew all the time. And that's really helpful. Moda ani lefanayich, Moda ani lefanayich, Ruach Chaya v'kayemet. Moda ani lefanecha, Moda ani lefanecha, Ruach Chai v'kayam. Oh, we are grateful. Oh, we are grateful in the face of the One. In the face of the One. Breathe in that sense of gratitude. Breathe in and check in with your body for a second. Take note without any judgment of how you feel in this moment. Maybe all you're feeling is that you're breathing. Maybe you're feeling a little more full and expansive. See if you can take note of where in your body gratitude resides. Breathe in and notice where your shoulders are, and if they're creeping up at all, take another breath in and try to release them down. Don't judge it, just let them drop a little bit. Take another breath in. Sense where you're holding any tension. For me, it's always right here. And in my neck. See if you can breathe it out. So you're relaxing it out just a little bit. Breathe in and really fill your whole chest cavity from your belly first, up through your center and your chest. Make yourself as big as you can. And as you exhale, contract it all out. Let the breath flow in and out of your body, bringing that precious oxygen to your blood cells, energizing your blood cells so they can flow through you full and rich, making it easier for your body to be in this space, in this place, in this time, and filling each of the layers of your soul with gratitude. Let us say, Amen. And welcome guest 723 who has just joined us, and for Lois and guest 723 to log in and share your name on the side there. You just want to click on the 3 horizontal white stripes in the top of the chat room. So the orange bar at the top of the chat room, there should be hopefully 3 little white stripes. If you click on that, you'll see that you can log in using Facebook, which will show your face like Aaron and myself, or you can log in as guest and share your name like Arava and Daniel. And if you just are more comfortable staying as guest and your number, that's fine too, but I hope you'll share your name with us so we don't call you 723 for the rest of the evening together. We have sung ourselves into the space together and oriented ourselves in a practice of gratitude. And as you are just joining us, for those of you just joining us, please feel free to take a moment and share whatever it is you are grateful for in this month that has just come to an end. We're going to move into our next phase, but I really, really encourage you to take at least a moment now to orient yourself in a space of gratitude and share something that you are grateful for in the month that is coming to an end, and then join in with us in our prayers for strength. And once we are oriented in a space of gratitude, it's time to think maybe about where are those edges in Av. It's Av. There's so many possibly. What are those vulnerable places, those challenges, those opportunities, those soft spots that you would love to know that someone else is helping hold for you? It takes courage to be vulnerable and say, I need help. And it takes courage to say that to ourselves sometimes, to people in our community, and even to the Holy One and all the ancestors and unseen beings. Sometimes we think, I don't need to say it. The divine knows what's in my heart. But for me, there are so many things in our heart. It helps. It can't hurt to state the thing that we know we need help for and put it out there. I experience the divine as cosmic fabric. The divine as weaver is a metaphor I work with a lot these days. And it's weaver, but also harp as instrument, the loom as a vibrational instrument. Science even teaches us that the universe is always humming. Everything has a frequency. Quantum physics has ideas now like string theory, so it all plays together. And by putting out there that thing, that thing that we really want some extra help in this month, we maybe ping off that perfect string, that focus. We pluck the string and send that vibration going. And in some way, we are getting that support. And maybe that support is simply spiritual support, soul support. But that is an answer as well. So maybe the way you hoped the situation would resolve didn't, but it didn't mean it wasn't a yes. It just wasn't the yes you wanted. I'm going to, as always, now turn the singing over to Te'amah for our Micha Mocha chant, our prayers for strength. And I invite you to share what it is you need strength for in the month to come with us, so we can reflect it back at you. And let's really use the Shamati practice tonight when someone shares something. I should have said it at the beginning, but as each person is sharing, let's let them know we've heard them by saying Shamati, I have heard, and typing that in the chat room, as well as maybe saying it out loud after people are sharing what it is they need strength for in the month of Av.
kamocha, Baili Madonna, mi kamocha, Nadai Bakoda. No Ratihilo, to se fela, no Ratihilo, to se fela. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Hashem, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Hashem, guide me and bless how I be. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing through you and me. Shekhinah reside in me, oh wisdom lives inside in me. Shekhinah reside in me, holy Abba, Nadai Bakoda. No Ratihiro, mi kamocha, Baili Madonna, mi kamocha, Nadai Bakoda. No Ratihiro, to se fela, no Ratihiro, to Hashem, guide me, be faithfully beside me. Hashem, guide me and bless how I be. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing, flowing and growing. The Spirit is flowing. Hashem, guide me, oh wisdom reside me, oh wisdom. Hashem, guide me, and bless reside in me, oh holy, oh holy. Mi kamocha, Baili Madonna, mi kamocha, Baili Madonna, mi kamocha, Nadai Bakoda. No Ratihilo, to se fela, no Ratihilo, to se fela.
Shamati. I'm just sitting for a moment with the amazing courage of this community and willingness to be vulnerable. Modern Western culture collectively doesn't seem to value that right now. My communities value that. My communities value people as people and recognize that we all bring different skills and abilities, some of which our Western culture has deemed financially valuable, and some it hasn't. And that is not in any way a statement on our value as a human being, or in the value, the true value of our gifts that we bring to the world. For so many of us, that is the challenge, is financial support and finding income streams that are sustainable and sustaining for us. And so I honor and really see that challenge for so many right now, and the difficult choices that people have to make sometimes to find that space and that balance of self and financial well-being. And I send deep love and blessings to you all who are in that complex place right now of seeking or trying to balance. Let us say, Amen. And yes, Erin, economically sustainable, ecologically sustainable, ethically viable, spiritually filling, all of those many spaces that the work that we do in the world should be, and the many ways that we should be valuing it beyond the financial dollar. Don't get me wrong, gotta find a way to pay the bills. But hopefully we are all able to bring our whole selves into that space as much as possible and help to shape the world and bring tikkun olam into everything that we do, and not just leave that part at the door. It is the challenge for so many of us. Ken yehi ratzon. Av, the month of Av. On our left, we have Tammuz, the month of potential, and asking us, what will you do? What will you do with all of this potential? Will you do something with it or not? In the center, we have the month of Av, asking us what we will do with our strength. And do we have enough strength? And where does this strength come from exactly? And where do we need to heal so we are stronger? For on the right, the month of Elul. Oh, and that journey up the mountain that each of us has to take alone, even if we're in community. It is a journey inside of us that we have to decide to take, and hopefully we are supported in community in that journey. But in the end, it's in our own hearts that we must take the journey. And so Av in the middle there, asking us, what is the source of our strength? Where do we need to heal our brokenness so we are stronger and more prepared for the month of Elul? And we are resilient enough to face the many challenges, big and small, personal and communal, global and cosmic, that are in our lives and our worlds each day. And this view from the transparent tarot, again from left to right, of Tammuz in the chariot, strength in the month of Av in the center, and Elul and the hermit on the right. I was finishing Challah Club's monthly installment today. It got done. I'm very excited about that. And but I spent a lot of time thinking about the month of the month of whew, and that cycle of Tisha B'Av to Tu B'Av, and how much I disliked Tisha B'Av, and just ignored it until I learned about Tu B'Av. And I find it interesting that I learned about Tisha B'Av, the fast day commemorating the fall of the temple, the fall of Jerusalem, and many other rather tragic events that have happened to the Jewish people that all seem to fall on the 9th of Av, or roughly thereabouts, over many, many centuries. And it's interesting that, at least in the Jewish worlds that I had been in for a very long time, and they were lacking. It was a very reformed Jewish world growing up that mostly was worried about me chanting phonetically correctly and never worrying about if I knew what I was saying. But it never had Tu B'Av in my consciousness before really the world of Kohenet. And Tu B'Av is the holiday of healing. So we have on the 9th of Av, the destruction. And depending on your framework, my framework is, it is actually the release of the Shekhinah from being encased in one place to infuse the world. But change is hard and scary and painful, and it really hurts. And no one likes it when it's happening. It's not fun. And an awful lot of the time in our lives, these giant, creative, destructive things happen. And it's nearly impossible to even frame ourselves that something may grow out of this that is so beautiful we can't imagine it, because the thing is so ugly and awful and gross that it just hurts. And we don't want to move on. And we don't want to think that something good can come out of it, because in some way that begins to justify bad things happening and people who do bad things and injustices and harm others and harm us. But seeing what grows beautifully out of the soil isn't justifying hatred and violence and injustice. It's acknowledging that every act of growth is inherently an act of destruction. And there are loving ways to do it and horrible ways to do it. And that if we don't grow, we die. And Aaron, I think you're completely right. I don't think I'm inventing something new in the way I frame Av. So what Aaron is saying in the chat room, if you're not seeing it right now, is that he's read that in the Near East it's very hot and dry this time of year. Absolutely. We even get that from our morning prayers. This is the time of year we're not blessing the rains and the winds. We're blessing the dew that rises with the dawn. So here where I am in the northeastern United States, and actually most of the northeastern corridor, we have someone with us from Miami where I went to college. And, you know, this time of year through the beginning of winter is notorious for every day at 3 o'clock there is a torrential rainstorm that comes down for like 15 to 30 minutes. But it's hot and dry in the Middle East. And then the rains come and there's a rebirth. Now all of this happens in Av. But Tu B'Av, the holiday that we don't seem to revel in enough until recently. It seems to be getting a really big resurgence, and I think that is so healthy, is in its simplest frame, in modern Israel, seems to be framed as Jewish Valentine's Day. But in ancient Israel, in the biblical holiday, Tu B'Av is the holiday when the maidens, it's the grape harvest, and all of the young women, and I love this part, they would go out in white dresses to dance in the fields, but not their own white dresses. There was a big, I always imagine this giant pile of white dresses in different sizes, because we're not all the same size, but all these different sizes of white dresses, that everybody has donated their dress. And you go and you pick up a dress. That way, you never know who is poor and who isn't, because your dress is not one that you purchased or you made. It's one that you got. So I love that part of the holiday. And the maidens would dance in the field, and they would find nice young boys, and probably some nice young girls found other nice young girls, and other nice young boys found nice young boys along the way. And while we didn't necessarily think about other genders outside of the binary then, or who knows, we weren't alive, but people found people with which to do all kinds of fun things with, consensually. And it's the reminder of resilience. And I'll quote one of my favorites to quote around this, the great modern sage Brené Brown. Tisha B'Av is the stormy first draft. It is the messy middle. It is the part that sucks, that we have to work through. We have to feel that pain. But then you move out of it, step by step. And maybe you don't feel like dancing yet, but the children do. And the older we get, the harder it is sometimes, but it's up to those of us as we get older to make sure there is something for the next generation to move on. And frankly, for us too. We're still here. We can't just survive. We need to thrive. And so that's Av in a nutshell. And I have one more quote for you tonight because I'm kind of amused this is what I'm quoting, but I've been watching the show Underground. If you haven't seen it, it's fabulous. It only is 2 seasons. It was canceled, which is not a good thing. And there was an episode that I just finished. It's about halfway through the 2nd season. One of the bravest, boldest hours of television I've ever seen. The entire episode is a woman playing the character of Harriet Tubman, and she's giving a speech. The entire episode is Harriet Tubman giving a speech straight to the camera. And at one point, she starts saying how the acorn, to become an oak, has to be cracked wide open and destroyed. And the acorn probably doesn't enjoy it very much. But that's how you change things. When societies change fully, we have to crack open those acorns so they can become beautiful, full oak trees and live up to their potential. That's each of us as individual and us as communities and societies. And being the acorn, being cracked open, doesn't feel good. It hurts. And you know if somebody's cracking that acorn through the natural process of being in the dirt and slowly softening up and opening, or if some nasty person just comes along and goes, haha, acorn, smash. It's a big difference. And again, knowing that that acorn becomes an oak doesn't forgive somebody who just smashes an acorn out of spite. But maybe something can grow out of that anyway. I hope this month you will really take the time to explore the 9th of Av. And yes, Aaron, there are many trees that forest fires are how their seeds are actually released. Creative, destructive forces. The fire doesn't seem like a great idea, and in our modern world it destroys a lot. But without the forest fire, these trees can't ever drop their seeds. So, in this month of Av, I really hope you will take the time. Whether you're able to find a service, I'm hoping we'll be able to do a lamentation service here at OneShul. I can't promise that yet, but I hope you will take the time on the 9th of Av to explore lamentations. There are so many options for it. One, if you go to neochassid.org, type that one in the chat room for you. He has an entire collection of Echad, ninth of Av options. One of my other teachers, I mentioned one teacher earlier, one of my other teachers, Rav Ye'ilah, Jill Hammer, has a beautiful Lamentations, the Lamentation of the 12 Sisters that you can find on ritualwell.org. And if nothing else, I will make sure to post in the OneShul members sanctuary. And if you are not a part of that, email me after the service, because if you are here live tonight, you are eligible to join our private members community. There's no dues, nothing like that. It's just a space for the members, the people who come live and interact with each other, to get to know each other and further our communal bonds. And we are doing some special programming behind that nice private wall so people feel very, very safe to interact with each other, including Aaron, who's with us tonight, is going to be leading a meditation practice. We've had a couple of other services so far, so I look forward to seeing what other communal offerings grow out of that space. With all of this hopefully rich, juicy soil for your month of Av, open, 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 breathe in with our final chant, and see what you receive in the chat room. See what you receive if you are engaging with this in an asynchronous time, whenever it is right for you in your own right pace and time. Life is born and life moves on, and the earth has held and will hold it all. The sun rises and the sun sets and returns again to rise and fall. The wind turns north and the wind turns south, turning, turning, returning still. The rivers run from the clouds to the sea, and come the rain, and the sea is never filled. So the beginning moves to the end, and the end flows on to begin again. The one at the end is the one that begins, and the breath of breaths is within all things. Life is born and life moves on, and the earth has held and will hold it all. The sun rises and the sun sets and returns again to rise and fall. The wind turns north and the wind turns south, turning, turning, returning still. The rivers run from the clouds to the sea and become the rain, and the sea is never filled. So the beginning flows to the end, and the end flows on to begin again. The one at the end is the one who begins, and the breath of breaths is within all things. Life is born and life moves on, and the earth has held and will hold it all. The sun rises and the sun sets and returns again to rise and fall. The wind turns south and the wind turns north. returning still. The rivers run from the clouds to the sea and become the rain, and the sea is never filled. So the beginning flows to the end, and the end flows on to begin again. The one at the end is the one who begins, and the breath of breaths is within all things. May you find your ability to be centered in gratitude this month. May you find the courage to ask for the help you need when you don't feel the strength on your own. May you dive into the depths of the lamentations of Tisha B'Av and resurface anew in a borrowed garment on Tu B'Av. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I hope if OneShul is your community, or if you have just joined us this one time and enjoyed this service and appreciate that it exists for yourself or for others, that you will consider, if you are able, to donate just $5 to help us keep the stream streaming. I'm really terrible about asking for this part, but the truth is we need it. All of the work that I do here at OneShul is volunteer. Kohenet Devorah Kalila, all of her work is volunteer. Rabbi Andrea's work is volunteer. Rabbi David's drashes are written as a volunteer. But we value what they do, and I personally would very much like to be able to show them that, both through my verbal appreciation and your verbal appreciations, and hopefully through a little transfer of green energy someday as well. So if you appreciate what we do here, tell us, please, either and through commenting on the weekly drash, although it hasn't gone up in a couple of weeks and that's my fault, by sharing your thoughts in the public Facebook page, by engaging with our private community if you are a member, by joining our private community, by joining Challah Club and sharing your adventures with Challah with us. And if you are able, through that exchange of green energy, I value your time no less than your ability to share your fortunes with us. We would hope for both as people are able, but we value both very deeply. And so your time, your talents, your voice, your presence, your green energy exchange is all so appreciated here. And if you have a talent that you would like to share with OneShul, please let me know. Ketzira@punktorah.org. I am always on the lookout for people to share their writing, their artwork, to help me with all of the graphics, with posting things. There is a surprising amount that has to happen behind the scenes, and very few of us who make it happen. Arava is one of the many special people, the few special people behind the scenes who get things done. And I cannot tell you how much I appreciate every time someone takes one little piece off my plate. It is really, really helpful when I know there's someone who is creating the graphics for the Parsha blog for me. And there's a wonderful person who has started doing that for me. That Rabbi David, except for our little communication problem, has been taking care of the drash every single week for so long. But I post all of those and have to coordinate all of them. Challah Club, our last month of totally new content was Av. We'll be refining in the next year. So all of these many things that are happening here at OneShul, creating the schedule and posting it, there's so many little things. So if there's one little thing you think you can help with, I would love it. Or a brand new thing, new programming, either private in the community or publicly here on the live public sanctuary. So whatever it is, such as the amazing Talia, who's going to be helping Hebrew up my Sidurim because I'm too lazy to type everything all the time. And I am super appreciating that, Talia. That was a lot of sudden overflow of announcement energy, so I hope it wasn't overwhelming. I'll be updating the schedule with new events soon, again hoping to have both Tisha and Tu B'Av for you all. We'll see what happens with the month. And again, if you are not currently part of our private members sanctuary, please email me, kitsira@punktorah.org. Let me know the email that your Facebook account is connected to, and your name that goes along with that, so I can get you invited to that. And oh my goodness, yes, Arava, I will never live down my amazing puppet show for Purim when I've done that. If you'd like to make me puppets for next Purim, that would be awesome. And soon enough, actually, I'll be sending out the call for High Holy Days. We've had great luck with people, great success with people recording small videos that we weave into our full complement of High Holiday services. And this year I'm hoping to have a mixture of public open services and private sanctuary service and offerings as well. And please, please, please join Aaron next Sunday night in our private members sanctuary as we begin his meditation practice that he'll be leading for OneShul in the private members sanctuary. So email me if you have questions about that and to join the members sanctuary. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to turn this over to Shir Yaakov, another person I'm so grateful for giving me permission to use his music here, giving us permission to use his music here in OneShul. Turning it over to Shir Yaakov to sing us out tonight. Chodesh Tov, Laila Tov, until we meet again.
Arms that find us, even when we are hidden from ourselves. We are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved, loved, loved by unending love and unending love. We are loved, loved. הרופא לשבורי לב